Hi there everybody, this is David, and I've just got to say, Atelier Yumia, it's a great game! But it can also be a very confusing game with like a metric ton of complicated and obtuse systems that you're just really going to have to learn if you do want to take advantage of all the game has to offer. And y'all know me, I have like a little teeny tiny pea brain and the memory of a fruit fly. So it took me a long time to like figure this all out and piece together everything that I learned. But now that I have, I do want to take this opportunity to impart all of this knowledge to you. And I do think that that's definitely worth a sub, as I try my hardest to hit 100,000 subscribers. With your help, your like, and your sub, I just know that I can get there. So thank you so much for that. And now, let's dive into the best Atelier game yet. First up, let's blow a bitch up. In my review, I called this game Xenoblade Light, and I'm not kidding. If you love the Xenoblade series, and you love going out and exploring open worlds, then this here is the game for you. But whereas in Xenoblade you kind of just go from like location to location to fight enemies and find discoveries along the way, there is a whole lot more here to Atelier Yumia. Yeah, for the most part, whenever you get to like a little question mark on the map, it'll activate something, saying that you've discovered like a gathering spot or a monster's nest or maybe a fishing spot or just whatever. But many times, nothing will happen, and you'll just be like standing right on top of the question mark and being like, what in the world do I do now? How come nothing's happening? Where is this stupid thing? Well, that's because you need to activate the gimmick, and Yumia has a bunch of tools at her disposal to activate all the discoveries that she finds. Most notably, her arsenal of bullets, which range from regular to burst to slicing and even scanning ammo. For the most part, you're just going to be like wanting to use your regular bullets to activate all the gimmicks around you, though you can use them to also stun enemies that are charging at you. One thing that really confused me was when the game introduced scanning ammo, and then I was just kind of like going around trying to shoot all those various gimmicks and nothing would happen. Well, that's because I was shooting with the scanning ammo and not the regular ammo, and the scanning ammo doesn't actually activate anything. It just gives you some information. So do make sure that you're using the proper ammo at the proper time. And remember, you can switch your ammo out at any time just by hitting the left or right directional buttons. Number 2, put a ring on it. Yeah, for real, put a ring on it, let's go. There's just so much here, but not everything can be covered with the regular menu. There's an additional menu called the ring menu. And don't forget that this thing exists like I did. You just open it up with either the L1 or R1 buttons, and there's a ton of stuff to see here. The very first thing that you're going to be utilizing is building though, and you can only build at the Atelier. And in each building zone, you can only place 5 items. So if you want to place more, you're going to have to like delete a piece of furniture, or just move it outside to a different building zone. There's also the ability to use simple synthesis out in the field, and everything that you craft here will be stored in your bag. However, if your little bag is full, all of your spare items will be stored in the containers back at the Atelier. And it is this simple synthesis that will allow you to build repair kits for treasure chests and gimmicks and ladders and things like that, bandages to restore your health, smoke bombs to escape battles, and gloves for using the zip lines, and you can even also create ammo for your gun. So anytime that you're out around exploring and you see like a busted up treasure chest or something, don't think that you have to go all the way back to the Atelier to fix it. No, you can just synthesize something right then and there in the field. Number 3, gathering geysers. I am a dumb bum, but I'm also sure that that's not news to anyone who's ever watched this channel for any length of time. As you are exploring, the game introduces mana geysers to you, and whenever it did to me, I didn't really think anything of it. I just thought oh, the geysers I guess will just pop up as question marks and I'll discover them as I go around exploring, but that's not the case. These geysers are hidden, and it's super important that you find every single last one of them that you can. But why is that, you ask? Let me tell you. Geysers give you particles, and if you don't have particles, you can't learn recipes. And if you can't learn recipes, then you can't move on with the story and you'll just get stuck. So, how do you find these geysers, you ask? For the longest time, I thought that they just kind of appeared randomly, but that is also not the case. As you're out exploring, a little blue beam will appear and it will indicate the direction to find the geyser. So while I was personally kind of preoccupied by just collecting every single little flower, log, and rock that I came across, I really should have instead been on the lookout for those little blue beams, because they show you the locations of the geysers, and the last thing that you want to do is get locked out of the storyline progression because you just didn't find enough particles. Number 4, Recipe Roundup. Let's take a minute to talk about the crafting, the synthesis, and all that jazz, because there's a lot here, and I could quite literally make an entire video just about the crafting, but instead I'm just going to hit the basics and the high points. I mean, this is a beginner's guide after all. One of the first things that you'll be building in your atelier is a recipe recall station, and it's here that you'll be able to unlock new recipes. Whether they're just synthesis items, combat items, weapons, armors, or accessories, you will unlock them all here. The ones that are colored in are the ones that you already know, while the ones with the little yellow unlock icon mean that you're able to learn them, but, and that's a big but, in order to unlock a recipe you will need particles, and again, you can only get those particles from the aforementioned geysers. Though, after you've unlocked all the recipes, you're not done yet, because you can also upgrade your recipes. And here's where it gets really cool. The more geysers that you find, the more particles that you have, the more that you'll be able to upgrade your weapons and armor, thus increasing your survivability as well as increasing your trait slots. And now let's talk about that too, with number 5, traits and skills. The higher level that your recipes are, and the better ingredients that you have, the more trait slots that you'll be able to open up whenever you craft new equipment. And as you go around exploring and opening up treasure chests and things like that, you'll be getting little trait shards. And if you want to, you could just go ahead and attach those trait shards straight onto your weapon from the equipment screen. However, if you use the trait blender machine that you can build, you can take those low-level dinky shards and blend them together to create higher-level, more powerful trait shards, which you can then attach to your equipment much in the same way, but greatly enhancing your character's powers. Another nice thing here is that you can put your trait shards onto any piece of equipment that you want. For example, in Atelier Ryza, you couldn't upgrade your attack on your accessories, but here in Yumia, you can, making your characters quite the powerhouses if you know what to upgrade. Another way to increase your character's powers is a skill tree. Just as you collect trait shards throughout exploration, you'll be getting SP by completing quests and making discoveries, and you can use that SP in 3 different skill trees: synthesis, exploration, or combat. Ultimately, it is up to you what you want to put your points into, but I will just say this. Outside of the first couple of nodes in the combat tree, I would just ignore it completely. Instead, focus on synthesis and exploration. That way you can grab higher quality ingredients, and then you'll be able to make higher quality equipment, and then you'll be able to improve your power of your characters even easier. So that's it for my 5 hints and tips and beginner's guide for Atelier Yumia. But now, I've just got to ask you, what hints and tips do you have for newcomers to the game? Let's all kind of use this comment section as a strategy guide to help one another out and share all of our insights, because I cannot wait to hear what you have to say. Also, if this did help you out, please be sure to leave a like if you learned something, and check out my review of Atelier Yumia 2. I think that you'll really enjoy it, and as always, have a good day.